Hello everyone, welcome to this course on Fundamentals of Data Science. My name is Anand Paul. I am with the School of Computer Science and Engineering, Gyeongbuk National University, South Korea, and this is the introductory lecture. So today we are going to see some introduction to this course. Let's briefly see what is the content for today's lecture. So basically we are going to see why do we need data science. Basically the objective of this course will be highlighted, and we are going to see some of the basic things that are needed for this course, starting from the syllabus. Syllabus for this course, the Fundamentals of Data Science. In other words, the foundations of data science. So as we see the syllabus, you will come to know that half of the syllabus basically deals with probability and statistics. And in extension, we are also going to see about the machine learning basics. So what are the prerequisites? We are going to see those things as well. Basically, what we need is strong programming skills, mathematical foundations. In other words, strong mathematical background is needed. And any other special requirements? Well, if you have some analytical skills, it would be an added plus. As we are going to see about various features of data science, here and there we are going to touch about the data analytics. And moreover, we will also see about the grading policy for this course in this lecture, including homeworks, midterms, final exam, and the capstone project. Well, let's see what is in for this lecture. The course introduction, course requirements, course content, grading policy. These are the basic objective of today's lecture. Okay, what is data science? Well, data science seems to be a buzzword before a decade, but now it's everywhere. Data science, big data, so on and so forth. Well, as we see the word data and science, data itself is something. We know that data, it is a separate contents of data itself. And we have science together with this data, which makes us data science. In other words, there are various scientific methods in which we are going to handle the data. And still further, if you want to look in, we do have different sciences, like we have home sciences, we have computer sciences, and now we are integrating the science with the data. So what is this data science? Data science is a field that encompasses almost every other fields, including engineering or any field that has data in it. So that includes agriculture, oceanology, and any other field that you may think about, music, library, any field. So because all these fields have data and they have these problems and challenges that comes with the data, like data cleaning, data preparations, data analysis. That's why this data science is an umbrella term. Under this umbrella, we have many other disciplinary fields, and we do apply many scientific methods to solve certain problems. For example, mathematics, statistics are widely used in data science. And we do have many other scientific tools that are applied to data sets. Yes, we can apply various mechanisms so that we can extract certain useful knowledge from the data. And this data science is quite hot in this decade, and it's going to be there for quite some time. And as I told you, this part of science is quite fascinating, and this field is again encompasses almost every other fields. It is touching almost every other fields. So it is right time for you to embark in this lecture of data science, so that you can thereafter do a lot of work by yourself by applying the principles in your domain. The objective of this course of data science or big data science is basically that you are going to learn things about how to clean your data and how to prepare your data for analysis, because most part of data science deals with cleaning, preparing and analyzing the data. But we do have very good tools that are very useful for visualizing the data. And when I say visualization, we can visualize the data so that just by visualization you can extract certain insight from the data. So basically the fundamental of data science is going to be encompasses of AI and machine learning methods, big data, and if you are good in Python or R, it is an added plus, because for data science, Python and R programming are in the forefront. If you are good in MATLAB, still data science, you can work a lot of things using MATLAB. There are machine learning algorithms as well as the machine learning tools that are available, including a famous tool called Orange. It's one of the most friendly tool. You can have to just drag your data sets and then you can visualize various machine learning methods. I do recommend you to learn Python or R program and get familiar with it so that you can apply all the things that you learn in this course. Here we are, the tools for data science. As I mentioned, MATLAB. MATLAB is a very strong tool, though you don't have to go deep down into the low-level programming. It's kind of a high-level programming language, and it's very user-friendly. Especially MATLAB has a machine learning toolbox, which means that it's easy for you to work out any machine learning algorithms or methods with simple commands. Moreover, they also have a toolbox for deep learning, and many of the data science methods can easily be applied using MATLAB. Then comes the Python. Well, Python, these days the Python community is very strong, and they have many libraries and packages that supports data science, which means that if you learn Python, it's quite easy for you to work out any of the methods, concepts that we study in this course. In line with Python, we have this R programming, and R programming is also having a very strong community. It's been well supported, and again, many of the data scientists, they are still using R programming. So if you want to go with Python or R programming, it's up to you. Generally, I recommend Python, but R programming is still equally strong. Yes, they do have a lot of potentials in the future for both Python and R programming, especially for the data science course. Then comes the Tabula and Power BI. So these are very high visualization tools. You can in fact have an immense visual appeal. For example, even if you are having a data set that related to various different countries, you can visualize the whole global map, and accordingly you can see the intensity of a particular data in a particular area. Yes, this Tabula is very effective tool these days. Unlike Python, MATLAB and R programming, this is a very simple tool. It's very user friendly. You can learn within few days and you can become an expert within a week if you are using Tabula. And there is another tool called Power BI. As you can see here, Power BI. Power BI is equally strong, and Power BI is from the Microsoft. It's actually called Power BI Business Intelligent Tool, and both of this Power BI as well as the Tabula, they are for visual analytics. You can visualize the data. It is very helpful for you to see how the data looks like. Apart from these things, as I mentioned here, there is this tool called Orange. Orange is again a very user friendly tool. It's an open source software. It's free. And by the way, in one of our lectures we are going to see about Tabula. I'm going to explain about what is Tabula and how we can use it. They have two different versions. Basically they have a Tabula Public and Desktop, and Tabula Public is free, and Desktop, if you are a student, I think you can take it for free for 1 year. And Power BI is commercial, so again for students I think they have an option for you to use the trial version, but otherwise you have to pay for it. Anyway, we will consider that in detail in other lecture where we are going to talk about visual analytics. So as we talk about this Orange tool, it's a free software and it's having a small community relatively when compared to Python or R program, but people are still working on this, and there are many useful packages that are available. Lot of algorithms, inbuilt algorithms are there. You can also visualize those algorithms very easily. That's Orange. Then comes the Hadoop. In one of our lecture we are going to discuss about this Hadoop, and Hadoop is again a powerful tool. They have its own advantages. There are many companies shifting to Hadoop, but still there are a lot of companies they are not shifting, which means that they have some advantage of Hadoop environment or Hadoop ecosystem, where it has many other tools added to it, including MapReduce, HDFS, and so on and so forth. Well, we will talk about this in another lecture, so I will go on to the next one. Azure, as we know, it's like AWS, Amazon Web Server, is one of the famous servers that we have. We can also use those computing environment for various big data analytical works, and equally these days we also have Azure clouds. It's very similar to AWS, and they also offer various computing environment, and which you can also achieve using virtual machines. Well, these are some of the tools of data science, and these days there are lots and lots of tools that are getting our attention. For example, RapidMiner is another tool. It's also very user friendly. But all these tools, most of the tools that we talk about, they do have some restrictions. In other words, in most cases you can only use their packages. If you want to create your own specialized algorithm which is completely new, then you may have to write it yourself. Of course, you can contribute. You can prepare your own package, and then you can contribute to this community so that your algorithms can also be applied and used by others. Well, at this time I also like to remind you that get full help from GitHub. If you don't have an account, I recommend that you make one GitHub is a very good platform in which many projects are being implemented these days, and many good support is also available for data science in GitHub. So I recommend that maybe you can create an account and you can also update your work in GitHub starting from now. Well, let's move on here as we talk about different tools of data science. Now here we have some information about machine learning for data science. So in our course, we are going to consider these three methods of machine learning: regression, classification, and clustering. Basically, we know that machine learning is capable of taking decisions by itself. So there are two types of machine learning. One is called supervised, the other one is called unsupervised. Supervised are the ones they already have a label, so you have to separate or you have to make according to the label. Whereas the unsupervised, you don't have a label, you may have to separate based on certain similarities or some relationship. For example, in most cases you can have a simple regression or classification as a part of supervised learning, and for example clustering, you can have a part of an unsupervised learning. Anyway, in another lecture we are going to discuss in depth about what is a regression, what is a classification, and what is clustering. We will talk about it in detail in other lecture. Coming to the materials for the course. So I found a lot of good materials, a lot of good e-books are also available for the data science. Especially we are dealing with the foundations of data science, in other words, fundamentals of data science. So here, this book, The Applied Data Science by Daniel Karzer, is one of the good book that is available. And the second one here, The Big Data with Hadoop MapReduce, a classroom approach. It's really good. We worked out this book, and it has a very clear information about the very basics of big data and why do we need Hadoop and all these algorithms that are related to MapReduce. Just for the sake of undergraduate student, it has been designed. So I also recommend that book for you to refer. Then comes, there are a few more books I have listed here. As you can see, Cathy O'Neil, Doing Data Science. It's quite good book as well. And there are a lot of other books I have mentioned here. Anyway, I'm not going to stick on to one particular book for this entire course. We are going to refer various e-books, and also various internet resources are available. So we are going to use it, and whenever I use an internet resource, I would be giving you the link. So you can also verify, you can also check it out. And apart from that, I also have made certain efforts to bring out some more lectures by myself. So I also recommend you to take some personal effort to understand some of the concepts behind this data science. Yes, there are various concepts we are going to learn. So take some efforts to learn these concepts. Of course, it will be dealt with in the class, but if you are referring some books or if you are referring certain internet resources, then that's where your personal effort comes in to understanding those concepts. Okay, requirements, as I have mentioned earlier, strong programming skills is one of the basic requirement of this course, as well as strong mathematical background. If you have these two, it's quite easy for you to navigate through this course. In other words, you can excel in this course, you can enjoy this course if you are good in programming and good in mathematical models. Adding to that, if you have some analytical skills, you can still do a lot. Well, especially when it comes to certain projects, certain problems in data science, we may need to face analytical skills, or you need to know certain methods to program it. So I recommend that not just follow along certain programming mechanisms that are available on a textbook or on the internet. Rather, take your own efforts to implement some of the basic algorithms or basic methods or techniques that we study in this course. At times we do have mathematical models that are explained. Some of the statistical model will also be explained. So try to implement those things by yourself, so by which you can benefit fully from this course. Grading policy, we are going to have several homeworks for this course, and then you have a midterm exam. Of course, in the end you have a final exam, and the final project will also be there. So you are going to see all these 4 contents are going to share in your grading. In other words, they all contains equal portions, which means that you cannot skip any one of them. You have to contribute to almost everything to achieve a good grades. Another view of the course content is given here. We are at this part of introduction, and some of the next lectures will also deal with some of the basics of big data analytics and some of the basics of data quality and data pre-processing. So you could consider these are the introduction to the fundamentals of data science. Then you are going to deal with the actual big data and data science, what it is, what are the steps involved in the data science, how to explore the data, Then you are going to discuss about machine learning, like we talked about regression, classification, clustering. So there are several parts of machine learning will be discussed during this section, and in between we will also discuss about various statistical and probabilistic methods. So at this point of time you are going to have the midterm exam as well, and in the meantime you are going to learn about graph analytics, queuing theory, big data analytics, statistical inferences, which includes Bayesian statistics and other informations like covariance, correlation, because these are the things that is going to lay a background for your understanding of machine learning and various other algorithms. And finally you are going to have a capstone project, then your final exam. So this is the entire course content. I will also discuss about 1 or 2 case study that can give you a understanding of how big data analytics is applied in various real-time scenario. So today we just saw introduction to this course, and now you know what are the requirements of this course. Can you recall what is the requirements of this course? As I talked about strong programming skills, then strong mathematical background, and if you could have certain analytical skills, that will be an added plus. And the course contents, we talked about course contents. I didn't give out the full syllabus, I didn't outline each and every part, but basically all the parts are covered in this course contents that we discussed. And now you are clear about the grading policy as well. Yes, midterm exam, final exam, homeworks, projects, they all have equal share. And one thing about this grading policy is that attendance does not have any points, but if you miss more than 2 classes, you will have certain negative points, because this whole course is online, and if you miss any of the lectures, it will be a big miss for you, because all the lectures are planned well that it contains useful information for the fundamentals of data science. So I encourage you not to miss any lectures. And I also welcome any feedbacks that you want to give me to improve my lectures at any point of time, starting from this first lecture onwards. And if you have any questions, you can also contact me. So these are some of the references for the time being. You can always approach this websites like LMS, where all the course contents will be found. So what's in for the next lecture? Yeah, we are going to discuss about what is the data science and 10 V's of big data, various characteristics of big data. So that is what we are going to discuss in our next lecture. I am looking forward to see you there. Until then, goodbye.